I do it all the time.
Yeah, we've been an impromptu show. Chatters.
Oh, I think I'm coming back. There we go.
Hey.
All right.
Starting out
All
with
right.
Woo.
Homerow podcast, everyone.
Start now.
Yeah.
Start now.
We
All
only
right,
got a little bit of
podcast,
time before
go.
Brian's gone. Oh, there he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. That's what I say to the Homerow podcast. This is episode 26.
27. It's 27 this month, I'm pretty sure.
27,
Or
that's
not
right.
month, but week.
27. Jesus Christ.
Buttfinger was 26. I am one of your lovely hosts, Joe, and I'm joined by the ever lovely Doxy.
Hi.
Thought you were joking.
Nope.
Also joined
Just being gross.
by the ever lovely, sometimes robot-y, Quiglin.
Hello.
That was freaky good, too.
That was good.
And our very, very special guest this week, Alpacapatrol.
I am very special. You're right.
You are.
How's it going,
Yes,
everybody?
You mean a lot.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
That's right. I met you at least 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. 10.
You guys go way back.
Right
We've got
here.
history now.
It's a lot of history there. Yeah, there's a
In the
lot.
past, it's
Take a
history.
bullet for this guy.
We've had a whole conversation before.
All right. So, slow news week, in all honesty. We are going to touch on PAX South, which
Kojima
Brian
watch.
was at. But yeah, let's just get Kojima out of the way because he's in the news yet again. This is
Right.
like 56 straight weeks of Kojima watch.
Welcome to Kojima Corner.
I am actually kind of excited to see what
Someone
this
make that
turns out.
bumper. Seriously. Someone put that bumper in there.
We
Don't
should
use the soundbite that I just provided.
use the soundbite.
Don't do it.
Use the soundbite and just
If you're gonna do it,
modulate
auto tune it. all right. We're all on the same page.
That would be solid. So the Kojima Corner this week features Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, which I probably just butchered that pronunciation. Will be speaking at DICE, I believe it is.
Yes, Dice.
Right? Which is a super fascinating inside look, kind of behind the curtain of game development, and some really cool speeches have come from it in the past. As a sidebar, you can check out some awesome archived speeches. One of my personal favorites is Jason Rubin's from like 2004. But you can check those out on the DICE archive or DICE Vault, something like that. Anyway, they talk about really cool stuff. Kojima and Del Toro will be talking about something.
Creative vision.
Creative vision, which could be extremely interesting, as they were both on, as we shed a single tear for Silent Hills.
Silent Hills. I was just gonna say. I wonder if they're gonna mention that.
I really hope so. I hope we get a better picture of what the game might have looked like. I kind of hope they go off the rails since neither of them are beholden to any other companies and just shit talk Konami. But we'll kind of see. Have any of you watched any DICE talks in the past? Anything like that?
No.
Nope.
Not yet.
They do aren't those guys that do the big video game award show that people care about?
They do the DICE Awards, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that like people actually tweet about and stuff. And then they also do the Spike TV one. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think what I like about the DICE Awards is that they're actual developers giving other developers awards.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
the
that's
closest
true.
thing to like the Academy giving out awards for games.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is pretty cool, and that's all I have to say about that. Forrest Gump style.
Nice. So yeah, the DICE Awards are actually put on by the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot that they were even close to the same thing. Which it is related to the DICE Summit, which hashtag DICE 2016. The Thursday keynote will be Del Toro and Kojima. Penn Jillette and Randy Pitchford will be talking.
That's
All right.
interesting.
Oh, that would be the best. Oh my God, that would be like the most mind-blowing. It would be just magic the entire time.
I
Bullshit.
would like to see that.
Dude,
I would like to
seriously,
see that.
Last year at PAX South, Randy Pitchford did a magic trick on stage in front of everybody. Blew my freaking mind off. It was just ridiculous.
What'd he do? You can't just
Uh,
like leave us hanging.
Yeah, no, okay, I can give a quick recap. So
Yeah.
he wanted to play it was like the very first special edition of Homeworld Remastered, and he brought a guy up on stage and did this entire magic trick where he had the guy open up the box, pull out a Anyway, he
That
pulled
one's
out
actually...
he pulled out the instruction manual, he had the guy rip out, like, read a letter and the page number. He figured out the page number. He had the guy, okay, so verify it, open up the book. The guy opened up the book. There's a thing cut out. And everyone's like, what? And then all of a sudden, in a glass case, like 12 feet from them, a light shines down and the piece is in there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty
just like, I'm
alright.
like, what? Yeah, it was amazing. It was mind-blowing amazing.
I could tell you guys a story of a magic trick I saw once.
I want to hear about magic tricks now. Like,
I-
this is now the Chris Angel Mind Freak podcast.
It was fantastic. I went to the Tony Awards because I went to a drama high school. Actually, the Fame School. If you ever saw the movie Fame. Anyway, they're giving out Tony Award tickets. So I went to the Tony Awards, and Neil Patrick Harris was hosting one year, and
You were in the same room as NPH, you lucky bastard.
it was great. He's hilarious, and like he does stuff. He like entertains the crowd in between like commercial breaks and stuff,
Nice.
which is fun.
A
So like,
true MC.
yeah, and like in one of the commercial breaks, he was like, "I'm gonna do a magic trick," and he's like, he goes to a lady and he's like, "All right, pick a number between 1 and 100, and don't tell me what it is." And she's like, "Okay, fine, yeah." And he's like, now put that number in my head. Just think that number. Just put it to me. Just give it to me. Give me your eyes. Look at me right now. Yeah, give me your eyes. Yeah, okay, perfect. I got it. And he writes down on a piece of paper, and then he says, "Was your number 68?" And she's like, "No." And he opens up the piece of paper, and the piece of paper says, "No."
That's amazing.
It's the greatest thing ever.
That's really good.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
I love that fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what were we
So,
talking about?
In a session
Are
titled
we
"A
just saying how
Conversation
we
with
always
Hideo
stay on
Kojima."
point?
Hey,
Yeah.
we bring it back. We wander off the path, but we always find our center. So this talk will be moderated by Jeff Keighley. Of course, he's fucking there. He's everywhere. And
Well, I
apparently,
feel like after the Game Awards, it felt like Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima were like this.
they're bro.
Oh,
bros.
yeah.
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 Especially when he like publicly called out Konami for being dicks.
Seriously. And
That was hilarious.
Kojima was there the year prior also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Him and drum Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh God, Kiefer, that was awesome. I wonder. It doesn't say exactly when that's happening, but I kind of want to see if this is going to be live streamed. If they're smart, they'll do it. First of all, I'd like to go because it's at Mandalay Bay in Vegas. But Thursday morning, Todd Howard is going to be chatting as well with Pete Holmes. It seems like
That's a man I like.
Yeah, I'm interested to
Yeah.
see how he like what they talk about. I hope they don't keep it too friendly. Like I hope these are just real talks as opposed to fucking PR speak, because the
Like super scripted, yeah.
yeah, or just like boasting about like how great Fallout's doing. I'd like to see Todd address some of the concerns or like what he sees as problems with Fallout in particular, what the future plans are. If you could address Elder Scrolls Online, that'd be cool. Just to have somebody take that like really from a real standpoint. But that's the Kojima corner. He's talking. That's all we know. He's in the news every week. We'll have more next week. I'm sure of it.
And if not, we'll make something up because that's what we do.
We do speculate pretty wildly and well, I must say. So let's get right into it. Brian, how was PAX?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to hear about it.
So I went to the second annual PAX South this year. It was this past weekend, and I know I've heard PAX South get some flack because it's the small PAX. It's kind of like the littlest brother PAX. But I personally enjoy it because it's not quite as packed. Like I don't feel, even on Saturday when it's a little claustrophobic, I don't feel like I need to walk outside and breathe fresh air. There were only a couple times I was walking behind someone going, "Oh God." Like that. So it wasn't terrible, and now I'm all blurry. Okay. But I did see some fun games. I did get some hands on with the new Street Fighter V characters, and I realized something. I am terrible at fighting games.
Yeah.
I mean, not just. I mean, they after so the wonderful PR person who brought me around to the game let someone else play because she's like, oh no, I'm terrible. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, don't worry, I'm not good either. And so this other guy was playing me, and then afterwards I'm like, so you think you could? I'm like, so you're pretty sure you could beat me now, right? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh. So that's how terrible I am. But good lord, the character models in this game are ridiculous.
Beautiful.
Like the detail is just out of this world.
How's the hair physics?
So they actually have a guy, and I feel terrible right now because I'm totally forgetting his name, but he actually has like these giant dreadlocks that are like huge, and you can see like the individual like twists of the hair in the locks themselves, and wow. I mean,
I
it
believe
is
that
just
character is DJ.
no, it's a new guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, totally brand new. So I played the 3 brand new people. There was 2 women and a man, and wow, I really should have brought my notes out. That's my bad.
You're doing good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So I played that, and I played Umbrella Corps, which I have to admit, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Really? Oh, I am interested.
So, and the best part is they're going for a $30 price point.
Ooh.
They're like, it's a multiplayer only game. It doesn't deserve to be a full price title, so we're gonna shoot for a $30 price tag.
How very ethical.
Yeah, I was actually kind of amazed. The matches are super fast. So we were playing like a 3-on-3 match in a very small, so it's a lot of tight corners, and you have the zombie jammer on your back, and the zombies pretty much ignore you unless a stray bullet hits it and it says like zombie jammer hurt, and then all of a sudden the zombies are like, hey look, there's meat here, and then they come after you. So you're like, okay, well I missed the guy, but at least I hit his jammer, so now the zombies are going to go after him. So that was pretty fun, and those matches were very fast. And if you die, you can see the entire map. So if you're on a headset with someone, you can be like, okay, he's on the first floor, he's running this way, and then you can start pushing your guy to go kill the remaining guys. So that was fast paced, and I think I might actually kind of try it out. I'd like to see more of it.
Multiplayer's good shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I have a question that I am dying to know. I have to know. Did you get your hands on any VR?
I did. So I used the HTC Vive to play Marble Mountain. It's basically like Marble Madness in virtual reality.
Okay.
So you played the most thrilling title possible, you're saying?
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, I went only for the
future.
best. Yeah.
You have to make an appointment to play the porn games. Come on.
To experience.
Yes,
those
I did not play.
thrills.
I did not play any porn games.
The Vive would be terrible for porn games because you have to use, both your hands are like using the
sticks or whatever, so you'd have to
do some monkey shit.
Maybe the sticks could have a clip-on pocket jammer. Man.
Oh, like a fleshlight
Yeah.
on the that'd be pretty amazing technology, honestly. So I mean,
And we're back to teledildonics.
Okay, so talk about the Vive. Talk about the Vive.
Oh, so it is so comfortable on your face. Like it was honestly, I forgot that it was there. Obviously, I knew I was looking at something, but I put the mask on, and it just sits lightly on your face. It does not feel heavy at all. Put the headphones on, and I disappear. Like everything around me, even in the loud show floor, I felt like it was just sort of dissipating around me. It was, yeah. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of sold on VR. I'm ready to at least try more things.
Why do you hate to say that?
Well, because I'm nervous about getting too much on the bandwagon when I feel like this is still out of my price range
dog. We've been souped on fucking VR for months. We've been talking about how excited we are about it.
I know, but I'm starting to look at what the price of a new video card in my machine is. And, other outside influences are influencing my money situations in the near future. So I don't really have another $1,000 to spend to get some VR in my life.
Let alone fucking 2,000 for the fucking
for the Vive.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
is it that much?
Well, we don't.
15 is what we speculated,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, last week.
God.
was
I
speculated.
guessed 12. You guys guessed 15. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's with the the sticks and the camera and the sensors that you put up in your room.
Well,
So
it better come with all that stuff.
well, yeah, for $1,500 it better, yeah.
Well, if you want people to buy your shit, like it better come with all that stuff.
I would think so.
Yeah.
You don't know though. I mean, they could in theory just do the headset for 1,000 maybe.
Same way Oculus is just doing the headset and an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
that's all you get. Those touch controllers, which are apparently a big
Oh.
part of the they're a big part of the experience. They are not ready for release yet, or
Right.
just not going to be there yet. Not to mention, I think if they packed them in, it's at what, 600?
Yeah, 600.
Yeah.
I don't doubt you'd be looking at a much higher price.
Ramp it
point.
up to 8.
Yeah, I have no idea how much those fancy controllers cost, but if it's anything like an Xbox,
It's got to be
Elite
more.
controller.
Yeah, it's more than that. Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. It's gonna be like an Elite controller.
Yeah, $150.
Mm. Hey, let's-
So, let me ask them,
Okay.
Brian. Will you consider does this get you sold that the PlayStation VR might be an option then?
So I would like to put my hands on the PlayStation VR first before I make that decision, just because I feel like PlayStation VR is going to come in somewhere between. So the Oculus and Vive are here, the Samsung, and the bot, like the Google Box thing, are here, and in the PlayStation VR is going to come somewhere in the middle. And so my fear is that they're going to have some kind of processing on the headset, and they're going to have some kind of and they're going to have to put some of the processing on the PS4. And I don't know if that's going to be enough to deliver, a 4K experience twice, one in this eye, one in this eye.
Totally. No, I've been kind of thinking about this, and remember how badly they dropped the ball with PlayStation Move? Like, I'm a little bit worried about
Yeah.
PlayStation VR.
The thing is, like,
Mhm.
with the Vive, right? I mean, that's Valve's thing.
Yeah.
And then you got Oculus.
Mhm.
Oculus was sort of the pioneer in this field,
Sure.
right?
Totally.
And in the early days, Valve was working closely with the Oculus, helping them with the technology and vice versa, right? And until they finally split apart and stuff like that, and then they made the Vive, and then the Oculus is separate with Facebook and all that stuff. Whereas, I don't know if anybody else can do it properly. I mean, I'm sure with the amount of money that Sony has, they can, but at the same time, those two have been working on VR for years, both Valve
Right.
and Oculus, whereas Sony has had to scramble to build something quickly
Whip
that
something
can
up,
be,
yeah.
that can be marketable. And I don't know how much I don't know how much they've been doing any of this. It's like the same thing as when the Wii motion controls, and everybody has to have their own
Right.
unique motion control thing. So I wouldn't have a lot of faith in Sony's thing. And then on top of that, it's the least versatile of all of them, right? Since you can only
Mhm.
use it on the PlayStation.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it seems very very one-dimensional with that, because you're not going to have to buy a gaming PC, but a lot of people that are interested in this product and these products already have one.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you're going to make the investment in a PlayStation 4, play only PlayStation 4 games, and use your VR for only the PlayStation 4 until they come out with the next console, which I mean, we don't know how long the console cycle is going to be. The
Right.
last one was 10 years, so it was a really long console cycle, probably the longest that we've had. And then but this one, I mean, who knows? I mean, you got the Nintendo NX maybe being a new console that they're going to announce this year or next year or something. So
Should be.
maybe this console cycle will be like the old ones, be only 5 years, and then you got you invested $500 in this VR headset that you're only going to use for the end
Yeah.
of the PlayStation 4's life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And how
Like, they
many
better make it.
games are they going to make? They're going to make exclusive games for the PS4 that you can use this PS4 VR on, and it's what, you're going to have 5 or 6? How many could they possibly make?
Yeah, and
So-
my next question is, how deep are those games going to be, or are they going to be tech demos in a special little corner of the PlayStation Store that after
Exactly,
a year
yeah.
are super hard to find and stop being supported?
Like, think
Unless
about it,
they
because
do
how
No
many
Man's Sky.
How many fucking games did they make with PlayStation Move support? How many did they make with PSI support? You know, like
And not many.
it was not an overwhelming number. Sony, I am a Sony fanboy, hard, but like they really have dropped the ball with peripherals, and so like I don't know why I started thinking about that like just the other night, like right after our last podcast, like the night or the night after that, I was just like, holy shit, Sony might really fuck this thing. Like, yeah, sorry, my cat is a monster. Monster. Kitty.
They're really good at hardware, though. Sony has always been very good.
Yeah,
at
they're incredible
manufacturing
at
hardware.
making quality stuff and doing it cheaply, but like, it's just the implementation is usually lacking, and that's what frightens me.
Yeah, that's a definite possibility.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Nobody really knows if VR is going to be a gimmick or it's going to be the new way to play video games.
No, it is the new way to play video games, Rob. You shut your whore mouth.
There's a lot of problems with VR, right? I mean, like one of the main problems that is going to be happening in the next few years is adoption, right? Because I mean, one, it is hilariously expensive to be an early adopter right now. Even when the price goes down, you have to consider that the games market has changed in the past 5-10 years immensely, and largely due to YouTube and Twitch and all this stuff, right? And the way that people experience new games and experience games in different transformative ways. You can't really do that with VR. I can't stream a VR game, not really. And even if that was some content that was possible to be made in some form of entertaining fashion, which I'm sure is possible, you have to have like a beastly PC in order to do that.
Right.
You know, to even stream that.
Yeah, for sure. Like for a while, I would not doubt that you're not even going to be able to. Like, with
not at
top
all,
of the line stuff.
I mean,
I got to do something about this cat real quick. I am so sorry. I'll be right back 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Unacceptable.
Every time, man, he comes in here and he cries. And my fucking problem.
I don't know. I'm pumped for VR, but like, you know, I can't be an early adopter, which I would like to be.
Right.
And then, you know, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it could end up just being a gimmick, which I would be sad about because I've used the Oculus and it's fucking awesome and it's amazing. But I don't know. You know, it really only time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to. I still feel that it's going to have an adoption rate, but it's going to be very slow. You know, due to price inhibiting that from going gangbusters. But I think if like once people really get it put on their face, then they're like, oh, I get it now. Oh, yeah, this is cool. We just need to get people will just need to get to that point. Then they have to get over the price hump. So there was a couple other things I did see. PAX. At PAX. Continuing on the zombie kick, Moving Hazard, which at first just looks like a typical multiplayer shoot other people, except you have ways of weaponizing the zombies that are moving around in front of you. So a guy is coming at me and he's like, you know, pew, pew, pew. And I threw a grenade and it hits the zombies and they all turn on my side and start attacking him. And I'm like, bye. And then I just keep moving on.
It's like the boomer bile in Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just, you can have that. You can lay traps for them to walk in that then zaps them and makes them, vulnerable to the zombies. You can, you have things to use. Like if there's a capture the point type thing, you can actually bring the zombies to the point and help you capture it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's some really cool ideas in there. It's a little drab on the colors palette. Like it's basically just gray and brown and gray.
Zombie game blues, man.
Yeah. But the part where you get to use the zombies to kill your enemies feels really awesome. So I like that one.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I've said it before and I will say it again and I will say it forever. I don't think I'll ever get tired of zombie games. I don't care how overplayed they are. Like, that is fucking video game fodder right there. And people are still coming up with new ways to do it, so I'm game.
Also, I did not play, but I saw a game that I think might be up your, maybe up your, way to go, Doxy, and it's called Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Okay.
And so there's,
you have
it's a multiplayer competitive game where someone's a squirrel, someone's a raccoon, someone's a horse, someone's a chicken, and I forget what the fourth one is. Whatever.
Cow.
A horse?
Yeah, don't ask. Anyway, so you run across, there is a box, and you pick up the box and you try to run it back. You run a piece back to your base, and the order in which you run back to the base, then it says, okay, well, here is a 2D side-scrolling level. Take your piece, which, by the way, is an implement of death, and put it in the level. And so then you put all the pieces in the level, and then, okay, run the level. And everyone runs to the end and tries to not die.
I think Northern Lion and Kate played this game on stream.
It may have.
I think they did.
And so you play it, and then whoever gets across first gets X number of points and whatever, and then whoever won first gets to choose first, and then you put more pieces in the level, and then you have to run through it again, and then you run through it again, and you keep putting pieces in there and trying to kill each other while trying not to die yourself.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that sounds fun as fuck, and I think I saw Northern Lion and Kate playing that before.
Very possible.
Yeah.
It looked like a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Interesting.
Dead Star from Armature, the people who are doing Recore. It's kind of like a space tactical shooter, and you're these ships, and you go and try to capture bases and get tickets, and there are different types of ships from, like, I of course picked the largest ship and I just bulldozed into everything. But there's like little rogue ships that, disappear. And then there's a whole nother race that like drops like beacons and like does like little tech things. It seems really cool. I like it. It's definitely going to, like that space shooter MOBA-esque sort of frantic, try to capture points and stuff sort of game. I think people are going to like that. There's also a pretty cool mode where you like escorting a giant capital ship, and it keeps jumping from space to space. You have to fight off the AI enemies, but there's a possibility you're going to drop into a player versus player match. So all of a sudden you and the capital ship warp in, and the other players are like, okay. And then if they actually blow up the ship, they get epic loot. So it incentivizes them to stop what they're doing and fight you.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool. Stories, Path of Destinies looked really interesting. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book with action RPG elements in there.
I can fucking get behind that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So like and it is a lot like an adventure book. So like you get to a point and you get to that page that only has like a paragraph on it, and you're like, fuck, I am dead.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back. And that's kind of how the game works. You have this magic book, and you get to kind of rewind back to the last time you made a decision, and then you're able to go down the other path.
Yeah, that's hype.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
So that was pretty cool. So there were a few other games, but those were like the big ones that I really liked.
Awesome, good time.
Sweet.
Yeah, I had a great time. I also played a lot of board games. Everything from the Contender to Suburbia to One Night Ultimate Werewolf to Super Fight. Yeah. By the way, I took out a 3-story tall Conan the Barbarian as Stephen Hawking because I could animate dirt, and I made a giant fist and I punched him in the face.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so just a lot of games and a lot of beverages and just a lot of good times.
Awesome.
Oh my god, I thought I kicked you all out of my office.
We're still here.
Not you guys.
Oh.
You're welcome in my office anytime, as long as you don't fucking meow at me as soon as I shut the door.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I know exactly what to do. Cool. Well, seeing as it's a slow news week, have you guys been playing a lot?
I played a little something last night that I will probably play again tonight. It's an oldie but a goodie. Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It was super fun. And the minute that I was done, I was like, I wish I was not done. And it took me a very long time to get back into it because I hadn't played it in so long that I just like forgot how everything worked. But yeah, I had a fucking blast with it, and it's a really fun stream game. I had other people that were like hanging out with me in a Discord call. I'm not gonna do that again, I don't think, if I stream it. I'll try to do it solo because it's really hard to like get the stuff out that I need to say about what's happening when I have like other people having conversations among themselves. But what I did last night was I fucking went back and did the tutorial to figure shit out. And then I did the like little single service campaign things. You know, like there's tons of different game modes for this old ass game. And like, so you click on new game, new campaign, and then there's like single storyline or whatever. Like, I don't remember how it's worded. And then there's like these set storyline things that you can have. I'm pretty sure that the like single serving campaign ones are procedurally generated.
That's nice.
I think.
Awesome.
But anyway, yeah, I did that, and I absolutely got just fucking destroyed. But I can't wait to jump back in and do it again.
You'll have your revenge.
So much fucking fun. So much fun. And then I got my hands on American Truck Simulator, and I haven't played it yet. But I haven't, and I can't wait to play it because Euro Truck Simulator is super fucking fun.
Can you please dress the part when you stream it?
We'll just get like a PPR hat,
You totally meet the hat, and you do like a
a shirt that says ass, gas, or grass.
Yes.
That's hot.
Oh man, I gotta go shopping for trucker shirts for you. That's
Oh
awesome.
my gosh. Can I interject something? I just remembered another game I played, and
Yeah, 100%. I was done anyway.
Okay. So I forgot I had gone to the Devolver booth, and another game, Docs, I think you're gonna like. It's called Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah,
And
I know
it's
about
like-
Enter the Gungeon.
okay, yeah.
I want
It's like-
it. I
It's
want
like
it
bullet
bad.
hell and RPG and just awesomeness. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I was fucking terrible at it, but
Me too.
I had a lot of fun.
I was
but I
really
had a lot
bad
of
too. Don't
The
worry.
other one was Omnibus, which
Heard of that one.
it's you are a personified bus. So during the story mode, the people who are asking missions, they ask the bus, and I'm like, oh, you mean the bus driver? He's like, no, they ask the bus. I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad you made that definition. And it's like they're just like these terrible like 8-bit graphics that are just, you thought a kid made them up, but it's just two guys who met in an ethics class. And the part I love the most is apparently
fart.
someone.
The fart part.
Sorry, the part I love the most
Talk about
was
this part
he
you
was
love.
like, he's like, there was a streamer who asked to do some streaming, and after he was done, he was like really pissed off because he's a part of the bus simulator community, and was like, you're not taking this seriously enough. And he's like, yeah, I know. I mean, the multiplayer is like in these arenas, and there are these bumpers, and you hit the bumper and you go flying off into space. I'm like, there's nothing serious about that. It's a hilarious.
I'm pretty sure
game.
this is bus satire,
Yeah.
Mr. Streamer.
It's like ridiculous things like you need to plant crops, and there's a watering can on the back of the bus, and as you're driving around, it's planting and corn is growing. But there's also these bumpers that are growing, and if you hit the bumper, you start flying off into space. And he's like, get it? Bumper crop. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's so bad.
That's really silly. I like that.
Yeah, the entire game is really silly. So that was a lot of fun. So, sorry, you just said about the truck simulator. It made me think of the other game.
Yeah.
Still stuck on this bus simulator guy. Is that community like thriving? Is that a very
I actually had to look it up. There are games on Steam.
There
that
definitely
bus,
are. Yeah.
bus simulator games, and I just kind of like.
I mean, I don't mind the games. I don't mind the community. It's just if you're gonna get upset because the game has a bus and it's not a simulator.
Yeah.
Relax, man. It's video games.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've heard what Brian's been playing. Unless is there anything else?
No, the only thing I was playing on the plane was Danganronpa 2, and man, those stories and the stories that they have in this game, they're ridiculous, but they're so well written. I'm just looking forward to continue playing that.
Nice, cool. Well,
I'm the only person playing a Vita, by the way. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one left, unless Rob plays Vita. Rob, do you have a
Yeah, no.
Okay, then that's it. Oh, I also
Honestly,
have
I want one.
I do have one more story.
Mhm.
I got on stage during the We Have Concerns panel.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So, yeah, please.
That was
please.
Yeah. So many episodes ago, they were doing a story about in Korea where companies were having, people who, were feeling too stressed out and, were hating their job, that they had like a funeral service for them so people could, give eulogies for them. And Anthony Carboni asked people to write eulogies for him and give them at PAX South, and he didn't think anyone would do it. So the mics were not working, and so someone else was going to do it, and I had already written one, so I went up there and gave my eulogy. So that I think it worked out pretty well. So they both hugged me and everyone was laughing. So I feel pretty good about that.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like those guys quite a bit. I am
Yeah,
pretty jelly about you getting to see. Did you watch DLC as well?
Yes, I was also in the front row at DLC.
Nice.
So, yeah, Adam Sandler was, or Sandler.
That would have been
Adam
weird.
Sessler. Adam Sessler was there. James Stevenson, and so then there was Kanata Spicer, Anthony Carboni, and Scott Kurtz.
Awesome. Sounds
And
like a
that
hell of a
was
show.
really good. Yeah, I was a little afraid that they weren't going to be able to get enough in, but they hit the topics they wanted to hit. So it was nice. It was nice to hear all those guys up there and to hear some stuff about behind the scenes, with like Insomniac, and their new game sounds really cool. Song of the Deep. And then to hear Adam Sessler talk about Friday the 13th, that was cool.
I am really excited about the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. So, Alpaca.
All right, I'm pretty sure I'm done with most of my stories.
It's all right. The rest of us will start talking and be like, "Oh, got one."
That reminds me. I do that to you guys
Oh, yeah.
literally every week.
It's our format now.
It really is.
Wait. We had a format before?
That's the format. There is no
Oh,
format.
okay.
That's our secret.
Okay. The secret sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Rob.
That
What have
until
you been playing?
intelligent
Oh God, what did I do?
What have you been playing?
Honestly, I have been playing watch YouTube videos to keep my mind off of the fact that I'm not currently playing XCOM 2. That is what I have been playing mostly. I actually have been playing a lot of Adventure Capitalist in my off time, just because it is a clicker game that is very easy to just jump in and
Yes.
spend 5 minutes in and then bounce off and whatnot.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, but no, I've been not much really. I'm just super excited for XCOM 2, and it's only 2 days away as of this recording. And I am super excited, and I'm gonna play the shit out of that game. I'm gonna spend like 5 hours on just the character pool.
Fuck
It's gonna
yeah.
be great.
Nice.
I've seen scores are looking really, really good on that. So I'm
Yep.
I don't doubt it. What it looks like is, not to like call it early or anything, but it just looks like XCOM Enemy Unknown, but better. It looks like it's like XCOM with way more shit in it, and it's gonna be a good game. XCOM was already a good game. It was already a great game, but yeah. Well, sorry, what?
Mike salivates rabidly at just the fucking hint of a whisper about that game. He is so excited.
I'm not. I can't. The worst part is that I can't watch anything about it. Like I've watched a lot about it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to watch any of the spoilery stuff because it's like I want to part of the
Experience it yourself, man.
Exactly, yeah, and part of the great moments in XCOM Enemy Unknown is like walking around a corner and activating a pod of aliens, and then you're just like, what the fuck is that thing? What is he gonna do to me? Is he gonna burn my mind? Like, what's happening now? So, you know, I want to experience that. And there's like 4 times as many enemies and shit, procedurally generated levels. I mean, a huge character pool, amazing customization, mods. Oh God, give me any game with mods, and I'm fucking in already.
Makes it replayable, like
exactly,
a
yeah,
million
totally.
times over when you throw mods at it.
Yeah, and it seems like, honestly, like one of the main things that they've done with XCOM 2 is they have focused on making it replayable. Because like, while I think XCOM Enemy Unknown is one of my favorite games of all time, but it does have one of its major flaws is that it's really honestly not very replayable.
Yeah.
You do the one run, and it's a great experience and it's a great time, but you know, the tech path is linear basically. You get thrown at the same missions and stuff, and on the same maps and whatnot, and there's a, you know, linear story progression and stuff. And I mean, honestly, there is one specific strategy in how to do the base management, which is just rush out satellites and stuff. And you know, for the most part, it's honestly pretty linear, which is strange for a Firaxis game, all things considered. But you know, they've just doubled down on replayability with XCOM 2. You know, with you choosing your missions, you moving to different countries, doing whatever it is you want to do, so that automatically is gonna make it different every time. And on top of that, in this one, the aliens are also trying to win, because like in XCOM 1, you know, the aliens were just kind of there, and they were just waiting for you to act pretty much on story missions and progress the game. But in this one, the aliens are researching technology, they're doing their own thing, and you have to stop them or they will hit their win condition before you do. And
Wow.
you know, so in that, like, that's gonna be great. I love a game right now that that you could play for 20-25 hours and fucking lose. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's great.
It's brutal, but yeah.
Brutal, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely can be, but yeah, I'm so pumped about that, basically.
Nice.
And I was just telling the guys before the show too that the devs, you can download their, like, the actual developers as people that you can play in your game and have on your team, and I think that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty good indicator that they had a good time making this.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
When you
absolutely,
want to immortalize yourself in your game,
Yeah.
it is.
Love.
Yeah.
They did that.
Please
They
let
did
us
that with
die
the
for
last.
you.
Yeah, they did that in the last game too. Actually, with a couple, not all of the devs, but a couple of them. Like if you change any squattie's name to Sid Meier, they become this super god soldier, this Psy guy who like has like a bajillion, like he just can't die. He has like 1,000 aim and 1,000 will and stuff, and yeah,
Nice.
it's a good time.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I'm pumped, man. I mean, like, I'm gonna be making character pools. I think I might even, I mean, somebody might do this already, but I think I might even make, like, my friends as characters, make a character pool, because you could share character pools with people and stuff. And you can also change you know, the voice packs and stuff.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
opens up possibilities for fantasy XCOM leagues.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
This is
Getting
cool,
meta
man.
as fuck.
I'm so pumped, man, and I hope the mod community takes a hold of XCOM and then just like dargles its balls, because I will play this game for years if that's the case. It'll be fantastic. I really can't wait.
Yeah, if they latch on, it'll prolong the life of this for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
They're
awesome.
they're already launching with 3 mods on day 1, which is pretty cool.
That is unheard of.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
awesome.
Yeah, because they partnered with Long War Studios, who are the guys that made this crazy, amazing mod for XCOM 1. And the reason that I say crazy amazing is because not only is it like a good mod for a video game, like they added a bunch of stuff, made the game different and interesting, but they did it on a game that they straight up you're not supposed to be able to mod it. Like they had to code through a hex editor, so they had to like
What?
look through just hex strings and then
That's
translate that and then code and then put that into the game and alter files. So like they had
That's-
to do crazy shit to get a mod going.
That's amazing.
Dude, I
Yeah.
can't even parse HTML. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, the code that they were working with is like A1 space 70 space X5. Like that's literally for like pages and pages and pages of that
Ugh.
shit. So that's that's what they had to do.
Did any of you guys have a game Genie?
Yep.
Mm.
Remember putting in
never did.
those hexadecimal codes?
I never
You
had
had
one.
to
Yeah.
find individual addresses. Yeah, those are my days.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah. I did that on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, good times.
Good old days. Yeah, man.
Your NES was your cartridge was like 3 cartridges high, or Super NES. The NES one slid right in. That was neat. Anyway, have you been playing anything else, or just highly anticipating XCOM?
I mean,
It's a
let me
game
see-
in and of
see
itself.
Yeah.
recent games. I briefly touched Darkest Dungeon a bit more, because it released, which is cool,
Totally.
and I have been again hankering for XCOM, so I played a little bit of it. No, I mean it's a good game. It's not entirely my cup of tea, but it's good. It's well made, and it's beautiful artistically. And it's a good game, and I played a bit of that, and that's fun.
It surprises me that it's not something that you're super into.
There's some weird UI things with Darkest Dungeon that piss me off, and also, there's some like weird things that it does that I don't agree with design wise.
Lay it all on
Like,
us. Let's
Yeah,
hear about
let's hear
it.
it. Because I think you might be starting to move towards my side on this, Rep.
I mean, okay. Firstly, I think, and granted, I have 15 hours in the game, so take everything I say about it with a grain of salt. I think the game should have I think you should have a shit. I just had the word and I totally forgot, but you should see what turns are coming up. Because how it is right now is it's based on speed and whatever. That's fine. Random, basically, sort of on which character goes next and whatnot. But I like strategizing, like in a game that seems to want to value the player strategizing.
Yeah.
Because when you have a game that's based like so much on random factors, right? You should be rewarded, and you are in certain portions of the game. You're rewarded for learning things from the randomness, right? Like when you find random shit on the floor in the dungeon, and you have to figure out which item goes into
Yeah.
that slot to make it work, right?
Right.
So you're rewarded for the randomness there. But in the combat, they just decide that nah, you're not rewarded in that. Like you don't get to strategize on how you're going to deal with the combat. It's just gonna happen, and you have to kind of guess. And maybe if you have a lot of hours in Darkest Dungeon, you can know which character is going next. You can
Right.
get a general idea as it is, and then there's like a couple things with like how surprise works, and it's like I don't really. So sometimes it feels like they overdid it on the randomness. When I've gone back though, in the past couple of days, it has not had a lot of those issues. But I think I'm still a little bit spoiled over my experience before. And like the thing about the UI, like when I was first trying to figure out how to use the shovel or whatever, I had my guy break the thing with his hands when I had a shovel and I knew I wanted to use the shovel.
Right.
But like I couldn't use the shovel because I didn't realize that you had to hit it on that third middle button that they put there, because it doesn't make any sense, because
Right.
they automatically put it there. So it's like, oh,
Right.
that makes sense. Now I can press the button and it works. Because UI wise, logically, I mean, I'm not crazy when I say this, right? Like logically, if I break it down with my hands when I'm looking at it, I see hand, empty slot, don't touch it, right? So if I use the hand and I'm not using any items on it, then that's me using my hands on the thing, right? Now if I see hand filled slot with a shovel,
Right.
no, and don't touch it, then why would the hand not mean that I'm using the item on that? Why would it mean I'm using my fucking hand? Like it just doesn't make any goddamn logical UI sense. And that's
Right.
something that you just got to learn through screwing up something.
Right.
And then you know, I don't know. There's things like that that just kind of subtly piss me off a little bit about the UI. And but like I said, overall, it's a well-made game. It's a good game. And it's just not entirely my cup of tea. You know?
Yeah,
Not
that's
without
fair.
flaws.
That's fair. Sorry,
And the
my
trinkets
cat
are-
has decided to make himself at home in front of my light source. So
No,
You're
it's all good.
Yeah,
That's all right.
no worries.
That's the trinkets are kind of boring in my opinion.
yeah, I don't like the trinkets either. Like they're so essential sometimes, but like you don't want to use them necessarily all the time because they all have drawbacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that I don't know. And again, this is a little bit more me being biased towards this kind of thing, but like it's sort of like when Diablo 3 first came out and everybody was pissed off, including myself, about how boring the items were. It was just like, oh, this does 5% more damage. It's like, oh, this has 5% more speed on things. Like, that's not Diablo. I want some cool like I want like this has a 10% chance of enemies exploding into fucking skull spiders that eat your enemies' brains. Like, I want shit like that,
Yeah, totally.
That's what I want in Darkest Dungeon too. But like the super rare trinkets, all they do is like plus 40% damage on bleed attacks. Like, oh, woo, yeah, I'm pumped, man.
Yeah.
So boring.
I do think that trinkets could be done better, but it still definitely got at least a goatee mention from me because I thought that game was incredible.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
I think they've done a lot of things that have resolved a lot of the issues that I had with it when I first played it.
They've definitely balanced it endlessly.
Yeah, it definitely seems more balanced now. It seems more doable and stuff. Just not my jam.
Fair.
Yeah.
So Joe,
What?
what you been playing?
Well-
Also, don't get mad at me.
Got this attitude. So I won't bore you with my brief relapse into Halo 5 and Battlefield Hardline, but I'm back into those two games in a big way. And
Joe, we leave you alone for 10 minutes.
I know. I saw it in the Skype message box, and I was like, not even dignifying it with the response.
The problem is I popped Halo in because I was like, I didn't finish the campaign. And then I started the campaign again. And I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to play some multiplayer. I was like, oh, yeah, the multiplayer is still Halo. It's still all right.
I'm just kidding. By the way, I'm super psyched for you that you're getting replayability out of your games. I think that's fantastic.
It's more of like I had
I'm a
decision
little less
paralysis. Like I was sitting here like, what do I play? Because I've been waiting on XCOM, as well as Dying Light the following, which is next week. But we might be getting I don't know. So I've been sitting around trying to figure out what to play. And then we packed all my games. And Halo's the only disc in there. And everything else that I have digitally. So, yeah, it's been flip-flopping through there. I don't know if I could talk about it because it was a closed beta, but I did play UFC 2, and I've never laughed so hard at a game. I was having a freaking blast because
You can't say stuff like that after you say I can't talk about it.
Well, it's generalities is how I'm speaking. I will say I kicked a lot, and it was a lot of fun.
Kicked a lot.
It was awesome. I did the bad thing of it wasn't like part of press or anything. I just put my email address in a website, and they said, "Hey, you can download this now." And then there was a license agreement that I didn't read, which I should have because I didn't realize it was a beta until I launched it. So I don't know if I'm under NDA, but you can black out this out if you want EA. It's fun. I had a good time with it. Probably shouldn't keep me from saying that.
Yeah, have fun censoring that, EA.
Yeah, we'll get a takedown.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, you discussed the following. You liked the game. We're gonna need you to block that out. I'm sure they're gonna be right on that.
I like the idea of them censoring just the fun part. So you're like, it was bleep. I love it. That's what I want to happen.
Um, I started playing Downwell on my phone. I heard a lot
Okay.
about Downwell, and I can see how it would be a much better game with a controller. What? My keyboard decided it needed to update. Anyway, it's a really, really good little game. On the phone, the controls are a little iffy because I can't stand touchscreen controls in any game, but
Yeah.
it's fine. The thing I played the most of, which is probably close to 20 hours over the weekend, was The Division. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to hear about this.
Fucking
Go, go.
gorgeous, man. It looks so good.
the game
Go, go, go.
is looking really good. It put all my fears to rest. Like
I heard there's pooping dogs. Is there pooping dogs,
there's,
Joe?
there's pooping dogs. There's peeing
Oh,
dogs.
golly. There's
Um,
pooping dogs.
One of my friends said that you can shoot the dogs. I didn't try that. You can, like, I was surprised at how alive the city does feel for being in the middle of a viral outbreak. There's still citizens walking around. The dogs will like growl and bark at other citizens, and then as soon as you fire a shot, they'll scurry off. But the Division to me is going to be. It's hard not to compare it to Destiny, but it's kind of the game that we wanted with Destiny the first time around. Like it's got a lot of substance. There's only one mission in the beta that I played or that was available, like a true storyline mission, and it seems like the game revolves. It's much heavier on the RPG aspects than it is being a third-person shooter. It's a very good third-person shooter, but it's also a really good RPG for what it is. I still think like The Witcher is a fantastic RPG. Fallout's a very, very good RPG, but The Division for an Ubisoft title to me is pretty damn good at what it does. You can switch classes pretty much on the fly. You upgrade your base, essentially, is how the game goes. You go through a mission. The first mission is actually on the medical wing. You have a medical wing, a tech wing, and a security wing. And medical, obviously, is medical stuff. Tech is more like gadgets and a little bit more offensive. And the security is like supremely offensive. Tech will give you like a little more intelligence and stuff like that. But it's the mission takes place in Madison Square Garden. Like the setting is really cool. The bad guys are not necessarily too challenging, but then I learned you can actually go back and play missions on a harder difficulty, which made it 10 times more enjoyable because it was a true firefight, behind cover. It's a very Gears of War like, Brian, now that you've played it, you can relate. Very Gears of War like in the way you snap to cover and then you can point at something. If you see an A button or an X button, you can hold that and you'll kind of do the roadie run where you keep your head low.
Hype.
Oh man,
Hype.
it's so good. It's really, really going to, I think, be like all of my March.
Okay, so Joe, you were playing with other people, right?
Not for the first half of my playtime.
Really?
And it stood
okay.
up. So that was my first standout observation was that I had a really good time playing alone, completely alone.
Okay, good. Now, when you were playing with other people, did you find yourself being like, I'm taking the left flank. Cover me, Porkins.
You know what's terrifying is, we actually. What? So okay, not like the co-op. We were just kind of bullshitting, and having a good time, taking enemies down. But then we started to realize how effective communication really is in a game like that. Right. Really similar to like Rainbow Six Siege, how you have to be able to call out. Like I've got one on my left. This guy's trying to flank. Like I need you to draw aggro while I move up on the right side. Like you, especially at those harder difficulties, when you don't really register that it's a beta and all your progress is going to be lost, you don't want to die and you want to get some sweet loot. So you want to take these dudes out. You'll see a named enemy pop up, and me and my buddy JD were playing, and it was like a must-have. You snipe from back there, I'll sneak around with my little Vector ACP and just take them down. In the dark zone is when we got like the most nerdy boners. Like it was just like the Ubisoft demo, and I felt awful about it because I gave him so much shit for being like, nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that. And then we would be like, all right, we got tangos coming up the street and they are hostile. We need to get out of this building now. And it was the
fact that these tangos.
It was the nerdiest thing ever, and I loved every second of it because we would let there was a group of 4 players. There were only the 2 of us, and we knew we actually were higher level than them. So if we got into a fight where we had either high ground or good cover, we could take them down because we had better weapons. We're just better equipped. But there were 4 of them, and they were just terrorizing the server. and we didn't want to engage them if we didn't have to. So there were times where we would let them fire on these poor little random level 4 guys that were just running through the streets and get mowed down, let them move past on the street, and then we would, fast rappel down the side of a building and
Take 'em
bolt
out.
the other way. No.
Oh.
We did engage them at one point, and it was kind of awesome because we noticed that the two of us had really good cover on top of a gas station and could fire down where they were trying to the whole gist of the Dark Zone is you get better loot from killing higher level enemies, and you get items that are contaminated, kind of like unidentified things, to go back to Diablo. Like you know kind of what it can do. In the Division, you know exactly what it will do. It's just you can't use it until it's decontaminated. So
okay.
you have to get this. It's in your inventory. And then you have to get to an extraction zone, which are like these 3 or 4 areas. Then you pop a flare, and you have 1 minute and 30 seconds, and everybody knows you just called in for extraction. So they know you've got something. So most players, I found, surprisingly, will actually just go to the zone and just wait patiently, or they'll throw out a wave emote so they know you're friendly, and people just kind of stand around. We engaged these guys as they were trying to extract, so they were kind of ready for a stand, but they didn't know where we were coming from. So we're looking from the top of a gas station down onto the extraction zone, and we start lighting them up, and then we notice another team of 2 or 3 guys coming up the road, and they join in and take these guys out because they've got these red skulls. That means they've gone rogue, and they have killed other players in the past. So you know when somebody else is being an asshole on a server.
Right.
And they'll put these hits out.
I love stuff like that.
It was so... I was prepared to hate the PvP, and it became like my favorite part of the game. Like
Wow.
It was stressful.
That is amazing.
That is hype.
It was really good. The one problem I did have, so besides addiction setting in, because I played on PlayStation by myself I played on Xbox One because that was out on Thursday. So I played that by myself to get to level 8, which was the level cap in the beta. Then I switched over to PS4 to play with my buddy JD. So I max leveled 2 characters over all of that.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's on 2
So
different platforms.
this is a buy for you now.
Oh, for sure. This is a day 1 purchase for me. I will
Damn.
never advocate pre-ordering,
Oh.
but I might have to just get that $10 back from Best Buy or whatever. The one bummer was that the PC beta never kicked off for me. I had enough Division at that point, but it was like Monday morning, and I was like, I'm going to try the beta. And it just crashed as soon as I got past like the tutorial video, which is a bummer.
Lame.
I
Yeah.
heard a
You
few
play.
something.
Fucking you play. Yeah, it was
Come on, no, I got no defense for that.
yeah, when Origin becomes a lot better than you got problems, son. So yeah, the Division is looking pretty
Wow.
good. I'm really excited for it. I can't, man.
I'm just wondering, whatever happened to that, tablet support, where you're supposed to be able to play from your tablet and be like a drone and like drop shit in the game?
I'm sure they'll still do that. I'm sure it just wasn't
down the road.
part of the
They have
beta.
like stopped talking about it. My
Yeah,
buddy
they're
brought it up.
Really?
yeah, it completely disappeared. They showed it at E3 like 3 years ago, and now it just silence.
Yeah, and I think that was the concept is awesome. Like I love
Oh yeah,
the idea of me being at
Right.
work and being able to be like, yeah, all right, I got you, and then being able to help a little bit and then fly right back out. But I haven't heard a damn thing about it, and I don't know that they've built that functionality in. Nobody that's played it can testify to any second screen stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, it's
no, I believe me. If my choices are have this in there and the game be shitty or have it be good, I totally choose the have it be good.
Yeah. Leave it
all
out
of a sudden,
altogether if
for
it's going to
something
be a
that
broken
they
piece of
were-
garbage. For
They
sure.
were so hype on 3 years ago. It just all of a sudden.
Yep. Yeah, it's. I think it's going to actually appeal to a lot more people than it probably currently is as well. The shooting is really, I wouldn't say it's the tightest, but it is pretty good. The cover system's good. The amount of collectibles is absolutely staggering. Like there's phone records, survival stuff. Like you actually get to see some really just dark stuff too. Like there's some recounting of the days of the first days of the outbreak and.
So there's
some
actual
weird stuff.
story involved.
Yeah. So that's where I think,
Alright,
again,
but-
they're going to kind of be able to dodge the Destiny bullet and have some substance behind it. And I think that's going to help the game quite a bit.
all right.
I went from cautiously optimistic to straight up whatever. You got it.
Honestly, I was sold. I was sold as soon as I saw it, and hearing you say all this stuff makes me really happy. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I think I'm hoping that they dial up the difficulty a little bit in the PvE sections, but the fact that you can go through on a harder difficulty or just jump right into, there are zones as well, so the beta zone was actually fairly small, but there was plenty to do to get a good taste. The whole of Manhattan, not the whole of, I shouldn't say that, there's a good chunk of Manhattan, and you're on foot the whole time, so there's no vehicles, which makes actually the streets a little more interesting, and getting from place to place takes a little longer, but you can go into these new zones, and as you cross the street, it'll tell you level 5 to 9, level 9 to whatever. So it'll kind of tell you what kind of fight you're in for, which is nice. I think they're doing a lot of right things. I think all the delays with this one have paid off.
It sounds thought out.
Yeah. And
are you getting it for Xbone?
So there's the other struggle is the buddy I played with is on PlayStation. The buddy I play with pretty routinely is on Xbone, but I also I want it on all 3 platforms. Like I'm heavily considering getting it on all 3. As long as I know the PC port's solid, which Ubisoft is kind of iffy on sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll probably go Xbox One day one and then kind of see where it plays out from there. If I can get some good time in on the PS4, probably there as well.
Wow.
I think PC, I just don't see, beyond looking better, to me, there's not a lot of benefit just yet. I was impressed with stuff I saw online. I didn't experience it, but apparently there's a lot of graphical options. So like the port looks like it's being handled pretty well. Unlocked frame rate, like a lot of things look pretty decent.
Well, hype, man.
Wow.
Hype.
Sweet.
Dude, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I was very prepared to not have good news. Like going into the beta on Thursday especially, I was like, okay, I know what it looks like. I know kind of how it runs around. I had played the alpha. I couldn't talk about the alpha at the time, but it was a lot of the same stuff. But I didn't get as much time with it as I did this time around. And man, it's one of those games, as soon as you put it down, you're like, all right, this is what I'm going to do next time I jump into this game. I got to go heal.
Totally.
Nice.
I had that with Heroes, man.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's a sign of a good game when you get away from it and start thinking about it, either immediately or any time after that. You're like, I got to get back in there. Tons of weapon customization too. Oh man, they did a lot of things right. It still has the Tom Clancy feel too for a Tom Clancy book and other genre fan. Like that's awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
that's super hype.
That's
Have
awesome,
you been
dude.
playing anything else?
Did I? No, I don't think so. Nothing really of note. I did get a little bit more of Uncharted in, but not much because the beta was like right around the corner.
So, my Lego Dimensions problem is continuing. I bought Benny, the astronaut from
Movie?
from the Lego Movie. That came today. Yeah, I can build a spaceship. And then I received a gift card from my mother-in-law for my birthday, and so now I've purchased the Wonder Woman fun pack, the Cyberman and Dalek fun pack, and I pre-ordered the Midway Retro game level. So, yeah.
Yeah, you have a problem.
I have a problem.
You got a problem. I've held strong. I told you about how Best Buy had the fun packs on sale for half off, and I almost went bonkers. I almost went nuts.
In my defense, I got my 2 fun packs for half price at $7.50 a piece. So
there you go. See?
yeah.
Not
So
that bad.
and Amazon now has the Prime special where I got an extra, $7 or $8 off of it for pre-ordering.
Jeez Louise.
So
Nice.
I saved some money,
It was a
but
big
I have
spender.
a problem. Yeah, but I have this problem.
Yeah.
Big problem. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, you got a problem. Let's not dance around this one.
I'm really jealous, man.
It's
Well, you can come over and play anytime you want.
Okay, I'll do that. I will. One of these days when I can afford to make it there, I will come and I will play Lego Dimensions with you.
And that's it. Just come over,
And then get
play
out.
Lego Dimensions, and then get out. Peace.
back on the
See
road
you.
you go.
You're like,
Thanks
yeah,
for the
like,
legs, Dems.
you died.
Oh.
Deuces.
Ah,
I'm the whitest. Why did I do that? Oh, jeez.
Pretty white. I think we have our opening clip.
Someone make that into a bumper.
So I think on that note, we got a show, folks.
Yeah, I think that's the show.
All right.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much for hanging out, Rob.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Where
Patrol.
can we find you? We'll start with you.
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all Alpacapatrol. Actually, pretty much everywhere Alpacapatrol, except for my Tumblr and my Ask.fm. So, you
And my
go.
TuneIn account.
Oh, that was good.
Those,
And
yeah,
pretty much everywhere.
and
And
my
my
LinkedIn
SoundCloud account.
and my. Well, actually, technically, I do have a Facebook, but I don't really use that very much.
Yeah, man, mine is just synced to my Twitter.
MySpace.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that. But yeah, no, Alpacapatrol everywhere. I'm a cool dude. You'd like me.
Agreed.
We can
Touch
vouch.
my penis.
Well, all right.
Don't do
Doxy,
that.
where are you?
You can find me at youtube.com/ZER0DOXY, twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY, twitter.com/ZERODOXY.
Nice.
And out in the Lego dimensions.
Oh man, there it is again. It's beautiful.
I mean, I gotta make a parody of myself so that nobody else makes me feel stupid.
Yeah, if you can't laugh at
Aw.
yourself.
That's right.
Quigs.
Yep. You can find me at robotvoices.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that
No, you
domain
can find me
available?
on. Seriously. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, wherever as Quiglin. That's QUIGLIN. That's about it.
Nice. And I'm Joe. You can find me at twitter.com/Joe_McAllister. That's MCCALLISTER. You can also find me on Twitch. I did stream The Division for like 3 or 4 hours. It was a pretty monster stream. And I even figured out how to get PlayStation Party Chat because I'm a smart dude. I
Nice.
know, and it didn't sound like tin can progresso bullshit. Anyway, that is twitch.tv/Joe McAllister. No underscore, no space, because that isn't a valid web address. But until next time, for the Homerow podcast, we will see you.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Wave Alpacapatrol.
Bye. Bye.